what's going on? Today, I'm going to tell you how to maintain mystery and seem interesting as an introvert. I know I cannot be the only person who, when I'm in conversation with others, I sometimes come off as goofy or kind of aloof because naturally when I'm trying to get along with other people, I'm not like the outgoing type. And so sometimes I may or may not kind of act a little outside myself when trying to get to know them. And maybe you're like me, you're a reserved type who's stoic also, but sometimes whenever you want to get to know someone, whether it's male or female, sometimes you may veer left for a little bit too far left or a little bit too far right. Today, I'm going to give you some tips, to overcome that. But hopefully you stay for the ride and let's get into it. That first one is talking less. Talking less is usually a powerful tool when it comes to a lot of situations because you're selective with your words. Now, reflect back to your high school days when, you got the quiet ones, you got the loud class clowns, right? The class clowns are kind of known as the loud ones. They're very abrupt, pretty much. Whereas those quiet ones, they're known as quiet, like they have an aura around them and they know something that others don't. By that meaning, don't try to pretend like you know something that others don't, but don't try to do that, but try your best just to kind of hold back. Like, let the things happen around you. Let you just sit there, let you be the base, and everything else is like the environment. Like you're watching and observing everything. Now, I'm going to give an example. Imagine that you're at a party and people are debating about a sports scandal happening. For example, for me, I know tonight is going to be the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. That's like a big thing. I just came from barbershop and that's all they're talking about. But instead of immediately joining with the conversation, with the debate going back and forth, you just kind of listen to each of the viewpoints. And after they are spoken, you kind of add your point that may seem well thought out. But the reason why it seems well thought out because you heard both points. And if you kind of said something well without hearing their points, then you will seem like the, not dumb one, but you will seem like the more, you just throw stuff out there. Like you just said something without thinking. But the good thing about talking less, is that people will remember what you say. And as long as it's unique, balanced, and thoughtful, that's how they remember you. But just make sure you talk less. Number 2 is over-explaining yourself. Sometimes as introverts, we sometimes may feel like, to justify our actions, we may have to over-explain. I know I caught myself doing that a few times, whether because I got caught doing something wrong, or maybe people just misinterpreted what I say. I sometimes over-explain to a point where I just think, why am I talking so much? I just need to shut up. Now, to give you an example of this, let's say that you're at dinner with your friends and someone comments, Derrick, I'm Derrick, by the way, if you didn't know, I'm Derrick. Derrick, you're so quiet. And instead of explaining why you're so quiet, you can just simply say, yeah, I just like listening. That's it. The short, confident response from you to them, whether he or she makes it sure that you're comfortable with yourself and comfortable with others without needing to explain more than you need to explain. I know that's a mouthful, but just pause it and then rewind it and then listen to it again. Often people respect you more for being this type of way as well. That third one is use nonverbal communication to your advantage. For me personally, like I said, my face is usually stoic, so I don't usually express my emotions in my face, but I'm good at communication skills. So for me to show that I'm listening, I nod my head, I smile when I need to. For me, communication itself is more of a structured thing I do. I do it systematically. Just stuff I read over time. You kind of learn this as you read more and develop more and communicate more. It's just stuff you do like a structure. But let's say that you're at a party with your friends and everyone's laughing, having a good time, but you're just there with a straight face, similar to mine right now, just laughing, nodding your head and listening. That an example of how your nonverbal cues will be to your advantage. Because if you're anything like me, who grew up in not a military environment, but you grew up with some guidelines, rules of how you should act, then sometimes smiling may be not a thing you do really. If you utilize other communication methods, then you'll be good. The fourth one is keeping your interests and feelings to yourself. Right now, in the world we live in, people feel the need to overshare things about themselves and their feelings, which I'm not saying is right or wrong, but sometimes you just don't need to do all that. So keeping certain parts of yourself is good because for us, it creates that curiosity from others in order for us to get to know them, especially for those of you who don't have a female in your life yet. It creates that curiosity for them if you keep things simple and broad. For example, if they were to ask you, what type of books do you like? You say, well, I have a broad genre of books that I read. So that question is open-ended question, meaning if she chooses to, she can dive more into it, which will lead to a better conversation for you personally. Also, the good thing about this is that when people don't have that complete picture of who you are as a person, they can create their own image of you in their head. So you could be a way better version than you actually is. That's why it's best to kind of keep that part to yourself. That fifth one is be seen as harder to get to know. Meaning, there is a difference between being closed off and being selective about who gets close to you. For example, imagine you're at a party or at a wedding or something, and someone asks you a personal topic. Maybe it could be something political, maybe it could be a religion, but you tell them before, or you just say that I'd rather get to know someone more before I tell them that information. By doing that, you kind of spark that curiosity because it shows that you have more than meets the eye, more than just surface area things to talk about. That's why it's best for you to kind of be seen as hard to get to know, then be open with everything you say. Also, I created a course on Udemy called How to Become a Better 2.0 Introverted Version of Yourself. And if you like it, click the link in the description. That sixth one is be a great listener and ask intentional questions. What does that mean? Now, listening itself is like a superpower that us introverts have, especially myself, because I'm more of a rational person. I like to hear the different parts to a story before I come to a decision overall. So for me, listening is why I use notes to get ahead, whether it's come to make decisions or whether it comes to my everyday life. That's what I do. Now, I'm going to give an example, right? Imagine that you're in a situation where you have to make a decision about the best way forward, because let's say that your company thinking about one, either putting infrastructure in place in order to pave this road, or two, just destroy the road overall. Now you hold a town hall meeting to get different opinions from out the community. One person say this, one person say that, one person say this, and one person say that. Then in the end, after you collect all the facts, and before I finish this, I just want to say that another thing, that whenever someone's talking to you, or if you're in a conversation when people are debating, try your best to keep your thoughts to yourself. Like, don't think about what you're going to say next. Don't have anything in your head. So listen to all the facts and swallow them up. What you can do, what I usually do, is write down what I think or what my original opinion is, and I delete that opinion from my head so I can listen to all the facts and just take it all in the whole. And then once you hear all the facts, you just give a good decision and good without response, and that'd be the best way to go about doing that. Also, I want to add in the power of pause. What does that mean? If you didn't know this, I paused just now, but as introverts, we're very good when it comes to pausing. And for you personally, if you choose to pause, pausing can be used to get good points across. A good example is, let's say that you're giving a speech to a bunch of students on stage and you say something deep. For example, when I was your age, I remember that I used to wake up every single morning at 3 a.m., putting my clothes on, getting ready. But did you think I want to do that? No, but I did it because I know I have a future. I know there's a place I want to go. Do we understand what I mean by that? What does having the future mean to you? That'd be an example of a pause in order to give a more powerful effect to the other person. Also, something similar to a pause, which is the last tip I'm going to talk about, is understand the importance of silence. What does that mean? Or what do I mean by that? In a conversation, right? Let's say that you're having a conversation with your friends, or a group of your friends having a conversation, but then it just immediately just goes silent. They can use that time to reflect and think about who's going to say, or think about what's being said, and then someone can just come in with a new conversation topic to refresh that conversation again. Now, let's say that in a group chat, like I gave before, that you notice silence after someone says something valuable of noteworthy thing, and instead of filling in that space by saying something else dumb or irrelevant, you just wait. After a pause, someone jumps in with a part of comment, and the conversation kind of flows naturally after that. Your comfort, our comfort with silence as introverts can lead to a more genuine, open discussion. Also, I want to let you know that I made a Discord for people like me and you who want to grow and be better. It's called The Culture of Growth. It's linked in the description. I will also put it in the pinned comments. If you're interested and you feel the need to grow with others, just click it, and I think it'll be a win-win for both of us. But in the end, let's wrap it up. Remember, as an introvert, your strength lies in your ability to make a big impact with few words. Whether that means being silent, utilizing a pause, those nonverbal cues, or being intentional with what you say. These practices not only help you grow, but also help others grow. And you can also use it to teach others what to do in order to help make them better. But thank you for listening.